Well, not only is it May 1st, but rent and mortgage payments, as we mentioned a moment ago, are due again, and it's an especially stressful time for more than 30 million Americans who have filed for unemployment benefits.
More than 36 cities and states, including San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York State, have put in place their own policies to halt evictions, foreclosures, and utility shutoffs. But the stress of having to pay those bills back when the government reopens again is still there. Joining us tonight from the We Strike Together, a network of housing organizations, is Peggy Perkins. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Peggy.
Thank you for having me.
You're an activist and you're in the epicenter right now. First, let us ask how you and your family are doing during this crisis.
We're holding up. We're taking it day by day.
Taking it day by day, as we always do, right? There was a viral video of a well-known comedian who made the argument that rent should be put on hold, essentially skipping payments and adding them onto the end of the lease agreement for both tenants, homeowners, lenders, and banks. Is that the idea that you're getting behind as well, the bill introduced by Representative Ilhan Omar?
The purpose of the bill that we're trying to pass is that, see, right now, due to this coronavirus, it has been extremely difficult with many who has lost their jobs due to the coronavirus. And so the purpose is we don't want anybody to owe money when this crisis is over. We don't want anybody to feel that, to have that extra burden, to feel, to have an extra load to say, I have to now, play catch up.
That is difficult for people having to catch up. What will happen after those temporary rent protections are lifted for tenants?
This is what we're fighting for. This is exactly what we're fighting for.
Which politicians do you feel are most likely to hear your pleas? Is there anybody in particular that you're working with, or anybody in particular that you feel is working against you?
Yes, we have certain politicians working against us. We've had great elected officials that's been working with us from the beginning. We have Ms. Alexandria Cortez, we have Zellner, we have Ms. Diane Richardson. We have such amazing, too many amazing to name. I believe that de Blasio is not really for us, which he claims he does. I don't believe that his proposal is correct for, to propose to give a grace period of 12 months, because it's not going to help tenants or mortgage owners.
Also, Governor Cuomo has decided that he's not going to be reopening schools anytime soon. For folks like yourself with children and they have no school and you don't, have work to deal with and you don't have income coming in, how difficult does that make things for you? And how are you managing it?
Trying to manage. This is why I'm fighting as hard as I can. This is why I'm putting my all into it. Because where I reside, I reside in a low income community. And so many have already been having difficulty trying to put their lives back together. So it is extremely difficult because, I live in Hempstead and, the children, their education, everything has been turned upside down. It's been a crisis all over. Everybody's trying to make the best that they can. But for the parents that, has been working part-time, working as home health aides and CNAs, and some of them have had no choice but to stop working because of this. So it's a huge struggle.
Yeah, Peggy, we can really hear it in your voice. We can see that you're really, fighting to stay strong, and we want you to stay strong. What can people do to help? What can people really do to try to make changes for the betterment of these communities?
Get involved. Speak your voice. It's known that we have each other, and that's the biggest key. We have to check up on each other. We have to motivate each other, because if we don't, it's really like, because when people talk about the physical, but the mental is at stake as well. Especially with, I know many people that have lost their loved ones due to this crisis, and just the simple fact that you can't even go and say goodbye. So that's a strain. Like, it's a lot. So don't give up. We will win. Just as long as we continue to stand in solidarity, we will get everything that we need.
All right, Ms. Perkins, Peggy Perkins in New York, we are certainly praying for you and pulling for you. You hang in there, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.